I mean, forgive me if you answered this already, but in Matthew 27:52 talks about the saints being raised from the grave after
Matthew
Christ's
27,
death.
exactly, 50 to 51. That's right.
Yes. I was just curious if you knew like what really that meant, or yeah.
I believe that was a resuscitation of those who had recently died, because it says their bodies were laid bare and then came to life on the resurrection. He's talking about Matthew 27, 50, 51. When Jesus died, there was an earthquake and the tombs broke open and the bodies of many saints laid bare, meaning they were out in the open, right? And then when the Lord rose, their bodies came to life and they appeared and showed themselves to many in the holy city. Now, I believe this is referring to believers in Christ who had recently died. Why? Because the text says their bodies. It was the custom of the Jews that after they buried someone, a year later they would go and collect the bones because the body would have disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
And they would put these bones in boxes called ossuaries in order to preserve the bones for the resurrection. Notice these bodies had not decomposed. They were still intact, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that means these are believers who had just recently died, who, as a sign of Jesus being the Messiah and who had conquered death, resurrected them from the realm of the dead to temporary life, to bear witness to him, only to die again, like when Lazarus died and was raised to die again.
Okay, that makes sense. So just recent people who had died. Okay.
Yeah, it's because the Bible is clear. Up until that point, Jesus is the only one to have been raised immortal from death. Others will follow later. Even in the Catholic tradition, where Mary was bodily assumed, that happened later, not first Easter Sunday, because he's the first fruits.
Yeah. So those what's that?
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, that makes sense.